How do you see the roles of the public, private, and NGO sectors changing in terms of how they can best support health system strengthening in the years to come?
I think we're already seeing a movement toward this almost mass hybridization of these sectors that you named. And I know we talk a lot about collaboration, but collaboration to be successful depends on leadership. And I think from the private sector, at least from my company, you'll see us advancing a new brand of leader. We've realized, as I think others have, that traditional business leadership that's been customized for the private sector and private sector only, won't allow us to grow in the ways that we need to grow as a business. It won't allow us to participate fully and have a full impact in this hybridization movement, this shared value movement, that's the opportunities from which are very obvious. But in order to capture those opportunities, again, we need that new brand of leader. We need cross-sector leadership. And we're beginning to delve in that in concerted ways.
I think what we're seeing here, and touching on Jamie's point, is really development of those leaders and people, both at the global level and at the sort of the country level too, who are well versed in understanding the specific challenges that are facing when you do bring two different sort of organizations across divides, the public and private sector together. So there's a lot of work already within countries. A lot of countries are developing their own leaders from the private sector, from the public sector, and are working together. Nigeria has the Private Sector Health Alliance of Nigeria, which is a way of really fostering innovation at the country level. We see a lot of work going on in South Asia, in particular India, about innovations in processes. And I think the role of the public-private, the role of an organization that's really a public-private organization is really to convene those different stakeholders together, provide the right incentives, and making sure that there is a transparent process in which these organizations, in a safe way, to really collaborate. What we're really looking at is driving innovation in thought, I think. I think the hard innovation, as you say, technology, is already out there. We're looking at innovation in thought.
For us, we are the United Nations Population Fund. For us, is first understand the challenge in the next decades ahead. The way I see the challenges in the next decade to come is how do we collaborate all together to address those who are left behind. And I think to Jamie's point, it requires great leadership. It requires great leadership in organization. It requires great leadership in countries, and even in non-governmental organization, to make this as a priority, so that if we want a better world for all of us, these are some of the things we need to be doing.
To your point, Michael, your original point about the roles of the private sector, NGOs, public sector, how that evolves over time, I'm not sure the roles particularly will evolve that much, because to my earlier point, I think people are there's a great appetite to work together now, and we're learning how to do that. I think what will change more dramatically, more quickly over the coming years is ways of working. I think there will be an increased understanding from the private sector of the objectives of the NGO sector, of the objectives of the public sector, and a much more flexible approach and ways of working together will emerge. So, and I think to bring it back to the whole point about systems and healthcare systems and how you strengthen them, I think this is where the gaps are, and this is the model, this collaboration between the 3 or 4 different sectors, private, public, not-for-profits, etc., above country organizations like the UN, etc. That's the power. If we can change each other's languages, if we can align on shared objectives, and we can change leadership, then I think that's what's going to tackle these really tough problems which we haven't been able to really crack so far.